another episode of High Stakes with Steve Rozenberg. This is where we're going to talk about real business, real life, and more importantly, real situations. Now, look, I know firsthand, as an entrepreneur, it can be very scary, right? There's no one really there to talk you every day, tell you you're doing a great job. There's no one there to tell you you're doing a shitty job either, for that matter. And there's no one there to tell you if what you're doing is actually on track, right? You may have a 20-year business plan to build a business, to retire, to live the life that you want to live, to have these golden years, but you could be going down the wrong path, in the wrong direction, and set for failure and not even know it. And this whole time, you think you're doing something for the future. A lot of people think like, oh, you've got to suffer every day to be a little bit better. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if suffering is the answer. I think trying to be better every day is something that you should be doing. The suffering part, I think that's just stuff we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves that we've got to have the pain before we get the pleasure, right? Because that's what we think when we can really enjoy the success. Now, I think that you enjoy success many different ways. You know, to me, the biggest lessons that I've learned and the biggest successful moments in my life have been from my failures. And trust me, I've had a lot of failures. I have failed at very, very big levels to where now when I fail, it's like, oh, it's just another one. I don't even think twice about it, right? And a lot of times, I think as business owners, entrepreneurs, we gauge our success, our business intelligence on how much we've lost or how much we've made. Or what the investment amount was. And so we gauge our success on money. I don't, but I think it's, I take it back. Probably at some level I probably do. Look, I don't want to go ahead and go and do an investment, put in, $500,000 into a project and lose that money. I'm not going to feel like the smartest person on earth, right? You're going to feel like, man, I really fucked that up, right? I'm kind of a dumbass. But you know what? It doesn't mean I'm not going to do it again, right? You go eat a meal, right? Let's say you go eat Chinese food. You have a bad meal. You don't give up eating meals. You don't give up eating Chinese food. You may give up eating at that place, but you learned a lesson. I think life is all about lessons, and I think life is about a book, and we write chapters in our book, and those chapters are made up of pages. And so I think, when we were all in high school, that was a chapter, right? I think college or our 20s, those were chapters, right? Our 30s, me, almost the end of my 40s, that's a chapter. And I think that we have to look at those chapters of what are we doing, because look, every day you wake up, you're either getting better or worse. That's the reality. And if you're not getting better, well, I think you know what that means. It means you're getting worse. And you need to understand that what you do every day, what you think about every day is going to define your moments, which is going to define what you do, your successes, your failures, and then it's going to define the next direction you take, as opposed to not doing anything, which is really making a choice. And so every day when I wake up, I make a choice, right? My choice is I'm either going to be better or worse. And I wish I could say every day was a picture book story life and roses are happening and everything's great and I don't have any problems, but that's not true, right? I have people that lie to me. I have people that rip me off. I have shit that happens. We all have it, right? And here's the thing. You can never change what happens to you, right? I can get hit by a car tomorrow, right? I can't change that. I can change how I react to it. I can change the way that I think about it and the course of action I take as a result. But I can't change if whether or not I'm going to get hit by a car, whether I'm going to get some disease like cancer or something. I can't change that. I can take preemptive things to hopefully not get these things happen. I can make sure I'm not driving in an area that I shouldn't be, driving in a bad area, driving recklessly. Those things I can change. But if someone's going to do something, there's nothing I can do about it. My question to you is, what do you do every day to try to be different? I mean, really think about it. Many people just go through life and they don't do anything to try to be better. They just kind of hope and pray that what they're doing at the end of the rainbow is going to be the right thing. But they don't actually sit back, they don't think, they don't reflect, they don't look at their life and go, man, could I be better? More importantly, should I be better? Are there things that I should be doing that I'm not doing in life? And again, only you know that answer, right? Only you know when you get up in the morning. I mean, look, I fly all over the world as an airline pilot. I'm a very fanatical person for the gym, right? I will fly, I will be in Hawaii, I will work out in Hawaii, I will fly all night long, and when I land, I will go right back to the gym when I get here to Houston, Texas. I don't do it to brag. I do it just because that's me. That gives me my center. It helps me. Everyone needs something. But I can tell you that if you're not doing something every day, you are doing something every day. It's probably just not good for you is the reality. And when it comes to your business, are you trying to be better? Are you trying to empower your team? You know, many, many times when I've worked with business owners, you know, they're so worried about themselves and they're so worried about how they will look to other people that they don't realize that they're actually looking the worst. They are the weak link in their business. They're not trying to get better. They're not trying to empower their team. They're not using the leverage of the brains of the people around them or the financial ability to grow and scale because of their limit, right? Many times people won't grow their business because they're afraid of money. They're afraid to spend money. And I can tell you that if you're afraid to spend money, you will always, always be afraid to make money. So never get into the habit of being afraid. And again, I don't think of everything as spending. I think there's some things that we invest in. When you're getting coaching or you're doing some self-development, that's investing, right? If you're doing marketing for your business, you're investing. Now, the problem is if you don't know what you're doing, then you're just gambling, right? And gambling is nothing more than just basically hoping and praying you don't lose money. So you want to be very, very focused and you want to be very careful where you spend your time, where you spend your money, where you spend your efforts, because that's going to be the thing that makes the difference. And what you do every day is going to make that difference. So just think about what you're doing. Think about how much time you're spending on stuff and really ask yourself, is this the best thing that I could be doing today? Only you know the answer. And the reality is nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit if you get up in the morning. Nobody cares if I get up at 4 a.m. and goes to the gym, right? They could care less. They may say, oh, that's impressive, Steve, good for you. But nobody cares, right? If I make $1 million the next year, nobody really cares. They may say, oh, congratulations, and then they'll have some reason why I got lucky or some reason why, you know, they couldn't do it or some talking themselves down and, you know, all that. Nobody cares. No one is going to care unless you care more than everyone else. So just think about that when you're doing stuff. Do you care more than everyone else? If the answer is no, then you may have an issue internally as to what you're doing, why you're doing it, and why you're not doing things. So just think about that next time you're doing stuff. Do you care more than anyone else? That's the reality. And are you doing something on a daily basis to be better? Because if you're not, I could tell you, you're focused on being worse. And when you're focused on being worse, all of your focus, all of your attention will go right to that being worse. And you don't want to be that person. So focus on being better. Do something every day to be better. I write down my goal sheet every single day and I write down my I am statements. I've done videos on these before. You can look it up, but I am statements are very powerful. I've been doing them for 7-8 years now, and they've worked well for me. I don't know if they work for everyone. I can just tell you from my own experience, but I am statements, making sure I know my vision, making sure I know my 90-day goals. What's one thing I'm going to do today to reach that 90-day goal? These are all things that are important. So just think about that. Every day you're doing something. Are you being better or are you being worse? This is Steve Rozenberg with High Stakes with Steve Rozenberg. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.